would just listen the first time, I wouldn't have to yell. How many of you said that to your child? Bingo! How many raise your hand if yelling at your child is working? Crickets, because it doesn't work. I've tried it, you've tried it. It's an awful feeling afterwards. You feel terrible, the child feels terrible. You go to bed feeling guilty, drinking your wine, sipping the shame and feeling guilty because you love your child so much. So you think to yourself, why am I yelling? Why am I getting so frustrated? You might be yelling at yourself because the conscious parent teaches us that we're learning about our undeveloped self. So in that moment of frustration, maybe you're yelling at yourself because you're feeling something from your past that's being triggered, or you're feeling a sense of failure because you're not getting compliance from your child. And here's the thing, yes, I say that a lot, I know. Your children come to you with a blank slate, clear as day, and we are writing on their slate every single day. When we yell at them, it hardens their heart. It shuts you out. It breaks the connection between the two of you. And we want to work on making that connection so much stronger, because when that connection is stronger, the meltdowns and the storms happen less, because they feel like they're going through this life with you, by their side, not you on top of them, as their, like, it's not you against them, like as their authority figure. Now, of course, you want to have that authority figure, but they don't want to always feel like it's you against them. It's you guys are in this together kind of feeling. And so when you yell at them, it actually trains them not to yell, not to listen, because it says to them, well, I'm not going to listen now because I'm just going to wait till mom loses her cool, or I'm upset that she's making me get dressed and I don't want to, so I'm going to be passive aggressive and not get dressed until she flips out, because I would like to be the puppeteer and see mom flip out, because I'm not happy that I have to do my chores, I have to get dressed, I have to put my shoes on, I don't want to get out of bed. Whatever the situation is, you are giving your power away every single time you yell. And so the purpose of talking to you about this is to get your power back and increase that connection between the two of you. And you are like this the entire time, even though they are like that, pushing your buttons, being passive aggressive, stalling, pretending like they don't hear you. They don't have a hearing problem. So yelling at them is not going to make them comply. And it might for a short-term goal, but it definitely bites you in the butt for the long term, because you're actually training them not to listen, which I know you can't believe. And then it's also teaching them to yell when they're frustrated, like I'm yelling right now. They say to themselves, okay, well, mom's getting frustrated, so she yells. So when I feel frustrated, when I'm frustrated with my brother, my sister, my friend at school, my friend at whatever, when I'm feeling frustrated with myself, I'm just going to yell, because that is what I'm supposed to do, because you are modeling for them what to do when they feel frustrated. Because you as an adult, you have all these big feelings, and sometimes you know how to handle them and sometimes you don't. And when you don't, it's a very frustrating feeling. And so we are teaching them what to do, because frustrations will happen their entire life. So we are actually modeling for them conflict resolution, what to do when you're upset, how to handle stress. So things that you could do to rectify the situation and help them to listen more, so you're not feeling like you are totally lost control, is first sit your kids down, which I have done, and said things are going to change. Mommy's read this book, or mommy's learned this, or mommy's going through this boot camper, and apologize to them for yelling at them, because you are the grown-up. You are the mature ones. They are the immature ones, still growing. Their brains are still growing. And I don't mean that in a condescending ways, but it's the truth. They are literally growing and their brains are not developed. So they're very immature, and you are the mature one who is teaching them conflict resolution. So apologize to them and say, sorry for all the yelling. It's not going to happen anymore. Mommy's learning, just like you're learning. Let's learn together. Because tell the kids that things are going to change, and validate them when they do have these big feelings, and say like this. Things that work with our kids to help them with listening is telling them to do something, and then if they don't do it, I learned this from Love and Logic, have some type of code word to let them know that they are in thin ice. You could say thin ice. You could say, Lily and I had a little word, boogaloo, like something like that. It could be a word like that, but most of the time we use the word uh-oh, and we say uh-oh just like this. Uh-oh, Grady's not being a good listener. Uh-oh, Lily's not making a good choice. It's never about bad kid, good cat. It's all about their choices that they're making, or their listening skills. And you talk just like this. Uh-oh, they're not being a good listener. You need to put your shoes on. And then you say, you need to put your shoes on the count of 3, or this is going to happen. And nothing grand, like we're not going to go, or you're going to go in timeout for 100 years. Nothing grand. The thing is they're searching for power. So you want to let them know that something's going to happen if you get to 3. And it's nothing major. You say, uh-oh, you're not being a good listener. I'm going to help you put on your shoes on the count of 3. No. You need to put on your shoes by the count of 3 or mommy's going to help you. And you know they don't want that. So you say 1, 2. And then if they don't, you help them. And they flip out, and that's okay. You still help them. Next time you'll be a good listener. And next time they will. Give them choices. Do you want to put on your blue shoes or your red shoes? What do you want to wear first? Do you want to whatever the issue is, give them 2 acceptable choices to let them, because all it is a power struggle. So you want to give them the power and say, do you want to brush your teeth in this bathroom or that bathroom if they're fighting and brushing their teeth? Whatever it is, give them 2 acceptable options so it's a win-win for you and a win-win for them, and then they're listening. And then praise them like crazy when they do. You are such a good listener. That makes mommy so happy. I bet that makes you very proud. Instead of always putting the proud that you're feeling proud, put it back on them. That must make you feel very proud when you're being a good listener and make you feel very happy. Doesn't that make you feel happy? Focus on their feelings so they're searching for it internally and it's more intrinsic versus then you're making mommy proud, you're making daddy proud, you're making your sister proud, you're making your brother proud. Focus on their inner pride and their happiness and how that makes them feel when they are having that feeling of following directions, getting along with mommy, getting along with daddy. And then you will see the storms will decrease. They will still happen. Please do not expect them to ever stop. They will always happen. They will just decrease in frequency and they will decrease in severity. And they also will decrease in the length of time that they happen. That is my goal, that you will stop yelling, enjoy your children, and figure out how to work together to dance better.